welcome to Coming Up Roses. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Kelly, and this is Saturday, March 26th, episode 54. We're back.
We had to take a week off because...
a lot of reasons.
It's a lot of changes. This is not your standard, we didn't do shit this week. No, we did some shit. Right? We got some stuff
We found out when we do shit, we don't have time to record.
Yeah.
So this episode is just going to be...
catching you guys
us just shooting the breeze, because I feel like there's a lot to talk about in the last couple weeks. A lot of things going on for us anyway. And so that's just what we're going to do.
That's it?
We're just going to get caught up.
So starting with the time shift, my new schedule started, which now I have weekends off. And I work in the late afternoon, early afternoon till 1 to 10.
He works 1 to 10.
Yeah, with Saturday and Sunday off, which is nice because we have the whole day together. But the very first weekend I had off, we're heading to Myrtle Beach.
Well, actually, before that.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. This doesn't involve Kevin, which is probably why he skipped over that part. My parents went to Myrtle Beach to spend a week with some friends of theirs. So Dad gets together with a group of his buddies from the Navy and their wives, and they usually spend a week in Myrtle Beach. And so, Mom's eyesight being what it is, and she doesn't like to drive when it gets dark, and she doesn't like to drive in the rain, and we just decided it would be easier to take them and drop them off and then pick them up when they're ready. And Myrtle Beach isn't that far from here. It's like 5.5 hours.
Yeah.
So, my friend Robin and I went the first weekend together, and it's the first trip Robin and I have taken together in a really, really long time. So we drove them up on last Saturday, stayed with them that evening, had dinner, played some Screw Your Neighbor, which I'm now really interested in getting a group of people together to play Screw Your Neighbor. So that we're working on that. And had a really great time, and then stayed overnight in a hotel, came home the next day. So that was all, except the rain on the way up there was like torrential rain. You couldn't even see the road. I'm so glad we drove, because no way Mom would have been able to drive through that.
Yeah.
And we really, really had a lot of fun. So, and that was the weekend that the time went back. So we lost an hour that Saturday night or Sunday morning.
I was actually I spent time with Robin's husband. He had hosted a poker night, and that was a lot of fun. I haven't gone to somebody's house to play poker in like a decade.
It hasn't been that long.
The last time would have been...
You played with him before, but it hadn't been 10 years.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time. Last time I played poker at somebody's house was Richard's house, and that was a long time ago.
Okay.
Way before pandemic, that's for sure. But we had a good time. It was a good time. And then the time change, and then you come home. You left your pillow. This is funny. She left her pillow at the hotel.
I always do that. See, we sleep in an adjustable bed, and my side adjusts separately from Kevin's side. I am used to not sleeping flat because I have reflux and all the other issues where I just can't sleep completely flat. And when I'm in a normal bed that only goes flat, I have a hard time. So I have to take pillows and whatever with me. And of course, I left my pillow. I told myself 4 times that morning, don't forget to grab your pillow, don't forget to grab your pillow. And of course I did. But we called on the way home, and I'm like, I'm going to be there next Saturday, same hotel. Can you just hold it? Which they did. So that was good.
That was good.
They didn't want to charge me $90 to ship it to me like the first time. Remember that?
Yeah.
Stupid.
Oh, yeah, that was years ago. We were, where did we go? I think it was Tennessee. The first time we went to Tennessee.
I can't remember where it
was. Or it might have been the mountains. Either way, wherever we were, we left the pillow. And they said, sure, we'll ship it to you, and hung up the phone. And then they sent us like a bill for $90.
$90? The pillow wasn't even worth $90.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't pay that much for the pillow to begin with. If I'd have known you were to charge that, I told you to keep it. And they were like, oh, okay, well, we'll drop that. I'm like, all right.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. And then I came home, and Kevin's time switched. So that, the daylight savings and his schedule changing in the same weekend was really hard to adjust to.
Yeah. Tilly had a hard time because she's a very regimented dog, and when things change for her, she doesn't adjust well. So that kind of threw her off a bit. So she was getting up in all hours of the night because she couldn't figure it out, and trouble going to sleep and whatever. She's getting a little better, but it's a pain in the ass.
I'm actually sleeping better.
Yeah.
Because I'm waiting until he gets off work most of the time to go to sleep or to go to bed. And usually I'm at 9 o'clock. I'm like heading to bed. But I think staying up later is helping me sleep better.
Yeah. And the fact that you don't have to rush so much in the morning.
That's true. Because he still takes me to school, but he doesn't have to be home by 7:30. So I don't feel like I have to be out of here by 6:30. So that does help too. That does help.
So it's been it was an interesting first week. You drove yourself actually that first week because we only there wasn't anybody to pick her up.
Kevin and I share a car, and now, especially now that he's not working until 1, like he needs the car in the morning, in the afternoons to do stuff, and so he drops me off, and then Mom and Dad will pick me up. So that's how that's been working. Which has been good.
Yeah.
It has been good.
Yeah.
And then we normally would record on Thursday night, and we can't do that anymore. So now we have to record on the weekends. So last weekend, Kevin and I were back in Myrtle Beach to pick Mom and Dad up, which was a completely different experience.
Yeah. Yeah, we took 13 down, which had us go through Suffolk, which was kind of interesting because we went down. It was the 1-year anniversary of my mom's passing, and to drive through Suffolk that day, I kept getting hit in the face with these memories, like this memory, that memory. We drove past where the old bingo hall where she would go to play bingo, the Wellens Park where she sponsored one of my brother Tommy's softball teams. Like they were Mary's Admirals, and just stuff like that was you just get hit in the face with memory after memory. And then it was driving through the country and seeing like all these animals, a lot of dead animals on the road, and one live animal that was kind of crazy. We're driving in, I think it was
we were in Suffolk or something.
Yeah, we were just
little
deep
past
Suffolk,
there, maybe.
And damn it, this giant buzzard wasn't just standing in the other side of the street, like
right in the middle of the opposite lane of traffic.
Just standing there staring us down like we're going, and there was like a dead possum on the line, and he was like, you ain't taking my possum.
The possum was in the median.
Yeah.
And he was standing in the middle of a 2-lane road. And it was so weird because he's just standing there staring at it. Because we watched him as we were coming up. We're like, what is that in the road? And then, like, we drove past, and he never flinched, never turned his head, never moved. But you would have thought he would have been in the median.
Pecking away.
Where the actual dead animal was. But no. He was right dead center on the line of a 2-lane road, which was really odd.
Yeah.
And kind of creepy.
Kind of creepy.
And then we hit a bird at one time.
Oh my God. Sitting there doing, I don't know, probably about 40, 45 miles an hour. And just out of nowhere, this bird flew right in front of me, and it obviously hit the front of the car.
This flash of, it was a red bird, whatever it was, because I saw a little flash of red. So that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But then when we got there, our plan was to, and there were maybe, I don't know, 8 or 10 people that my parents were with, and we were all going to go out to dinner. But when we got there, one of their friends had a really weird
medical issue
where suddenly she just forgot where she was and how she got there, and like she literally couldn't remember what year it was or who the president was or any of that. So they took her to the emergency room, and they admitted her, I guess they admitted her into the hospital, or they took her sent her from the emergency room to the hospital, because I guess in those resort towns they have
there's like a triage.
An emergency.
Like an emergency hospital. But
Yeah.
it's for emergency, broken bones.
It's not like a major
heat stroke, that sort of thing. But if you have anything going on, it's more pressing. Like if you're in Nag's Head or Hatteras Island, there's a hospital that's largely just a really big ER. So they take you in, you got some sort of emergency thing. They basically stabilize you, and then if you get to the point where you can leave, they send you to either Norfolk General or Chesapeake General, depending on the need. But they were like, yeah, we got nothing for her, so they shipped her up.
Well, they did tests and everything turned out fine. Like, all her tests were coming back normal, but she still couldn't remember anything.
Yeah.
So then the next day she was fine. So they said that she had some transglobal amnesia or something like that. And that has happened to a family member of mine too, where they just completely forget everything. Scary. Not dangerous, like there's no...
And it might have been stress induced.
Might have been stress induced. It's amazing what the brain can do.
Yeah.
So anyway, we ended up staying home and having dinner just because everybody was really worried. And it was pretty funny because they were like, go ahead and eat without us. We're going to be at the hospital for a while. It was just like 2:30. And so some of the guys were like, all right, let's start making dinner. Like literally made dinner at 2:30 in the afternoon. So that was kind of funny. But, and then Mom and Dad, we picked them up the next morning and drove them home. So it was good.
Yeah. Nice trip home. Nice. It's a nice drive. It was warm out. You know, it was just a really nice drive.
Yeah, especially if you stay off of 95. Yeah. We stayed off of 95 until we were driving home because if you take 13 or 17 or any of the other routes to get to Myrtle Beach, it is a long distance between stopping points.
Yeah.
And if you like need the bathroom, they're just not at every exit, like if you're along 95. So.
And if you're heading back from 95, you don't get hit in the face with south of the border signs all the way down. So
we didn't go quite that far.
No, but that's what 95 is if you're heading south.
In that area. Yes, I get it. So anyway, that was that. And then last week, again, just more getting adjusted to the new schedule and dinner times having to be worked around Kevin's breaks and not doing a great job at that. But, you know, it is what it is.
Because I usually do the like when I was off at night, I would do the cooking and we would plan dinner. You know, couple of nights a week, it's usually pizza or Chinese or, you know, Subway or sandwiches from somewhere. But now that's going to have to be a little bit more prevalent thing because, you know. But tonight we're having pork chops, which is awesome. I picked up some pork chops today.
Yep. Yesterday, coming home from school, this is a weird thing that happened to me yesterday. Yesterday didn't start off good.
Yeah.
On the way to school, we had to make an emergency stop for Kevin to use the bathroom, which doesn't ever happen, but for some reason it just kind of came on and we had to find a place to stop.
It was kind of a Dunkin' Donuts type situation, so if y'all remember the Dunkin' Donuts story.
And then we got to school and I realized I had left my badge at home, so I couldn't get in the building. So that was fine. I just kind of waited a couple minutes so somebody else got there. And then I get to my room and my door to my room was locked. And it's never locked. Never. And my key is on my lanyard with my badge, which was at home. So I was like, dang it, I can't get in my room. So thankfully, somebody working there was like, who has a master key, was walking by. She goes, you're the third person I've had to open the classroom doors. I'm like, I don't know why all of a sudden they locked all of the doors. They never did that before. So anyway, I was like, something in the universe is telling me to turn around and go home because this is not going to be the kind of day you want to go through. But actually, it turned out to be a pretty good work day. The kids were pretty good. So the day was fine. Coming home, we stop at Starbucks like we do very frequently coming home from work. And I order on the app. So my school is maybe 2 or 3 minutes from the Starbucks.
Yeah, not far at all.
So I got in the car, Mom and Dad, and I'm like, are we stopping at Starbucks? Yeah, let's stop at Starbucks. I'm like, all right, I'll order. So I'm ordering for Mom, and I'm ordering for Dad, and I'm ordering for me, and then I was like, I'll pick Kevin a coffee up. It takes me a couple minutes to navigate through all of that, and by the time I submitted the order, we were just pretty much turning into the parking lot at the Starbucks. And there's maybe 2 cars, and we have to wait maybe 2 cars to get to the window, to the order board. So we get up to the order board, and Mom was like, oh, we just put in an order, like a mobile order for Kelly. oh, okay, well, we're just starting that up. Come on to the window, whatever. So we get up there. Now, this is a normal thing that we do. I always order through the app on Starbucks. So we get up to the window, and this girl who I don't recognize, and I know a lot of people that work there because I'm there a lot, comes out and she's like, the next time when you order on the app, can you give us like 10 minutes to prep your order before you show up? And I was like, sure, not a problem. But the more I thought about it, the more I was like, what if I had just pulled up to the menu board with this order?
Yeah.
And the reason I don't is because it's somewhat of a complicated, like...
There's specialty stuff that has to happen.
Well, Mom wants sugar-free vanilla with Splenda in her iced coffee. Dad likes caramel macchiato upside down. It's just a little bit of...
And my normal hot is...
His normal hot is just regular coffee, but with cream and Splenda and whatever in it.
All right.
I'm the only one that just orders straight from, the menu.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, okay. I didn't say anything because that's just me. I don't voice stuff like that. Mom is different. She's like, I should say something. I'm like, no, just let's get our stuff and go. So it was actually Michael who was with us and not Dad. That might have been because when Mike's with us, he brings the thunder.
He brings. It's amazing since I've been with the family. If Michael's involved with any type of ordering situation,
we'll get
something's going to go
wrong.
That
in a minute too, because that happened yesterday too. So I don't know. The more I thought about it, I was like, I could have just pulled up to the window, to the order board, and ordered this. You would have had less time to prep the order than you had when I put it in through the mobile system, because it was there even before I pulled into the parking lot. So I'm actually ahead of what I would have been had I just ordered at the board. Just didn't make a lot of sense to me, and I got a little irritated because we spend a lot of money at Starbucks.
Mm-hmm.
And like, what is the deal? It wasn't, and we were we were a couple minutes at the window. It wasn't like it was a long time. So I don't know, it just really irritated me to the point that I'm not sure I want to go back to that Starbucks anymore. And it's one of my favorite Starbucks.
They get the order right every time.
Well, they make the coffee good. There's one closer to our house, but the coffee, it just doesn't taste as good for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, the one by the house is new, and they still act like they're brand new. They've been there for about 3 months now, and it's like they're still like they just opened week 1.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
talking about. And I know they give you, when you order on the app, I know they give you an estimated time that it'll be ready. And it'll say 8 to 10 minutes, whatever. But usually you're waiting in a line at the drive-thru. So, especially on a Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, we're probably waiting in line there. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and put it in. What do I just wait in the parking lot until the time gets right and then pull through the drive-thru? It's stupid. That's stupid.
Yeah.
So anyway, I Google searched it. Why would the barista complain about me? Apparently,
she's a bitch.
Apparently, a quarter of their sales come through the mobile system.
Yeah.
And they can't control how many orders are coming in at a time. And they don't have the staff to fill the orders as fast as they're coming in. So if you were in the store, you'd be waiting in the line, or you'd be waiting in the line to order. But so many people are putting their orders in ahead of time. But they have to prioritize the people who are standing there waiting.
Yeah. Well, but still, they advertise it there. You walk in, the first thing you see is a sign that says order through the map.
And if they all think it's such a pain in the... And they say also people are more apt to customize their orders like crazy on the app than they would if they ordered, which is true.
Yeah.
Then don't offer that as an option. Or do what Dunkin' Donuts does or Chick-fil-A does. Order on the app, and then, Dunkin' Donuts does it. When you get there, you click I'm here, so they know when to start prepping.
Yeah, it's just like you're waiting in line there.
They're not going to start prepping it right away, because the problem with the coffees is I drink frozen coffee, so mine, if I don't get there to pick it up right away, it melts. I would rather not drink a melted Frappuccino.
Yeah.
So either I just start doing the complicated as shit order right at the board, and don't worry about using the app because apparently they don't like that. Or I stop going to that particular one. They're the only one that has complained about it.
Yeah.
Now, I have ordered and waited, like sometimes. But they are, the article I read said that people will order while they're waiting in line.
Yeah.
Which I have done. I didn't realize I was pissing off all the baristas at Starbucks when I did that because, especially through the pandemic, it just became an easier way to like pay. You don't have to pass money back and forth, all that other kind of stuff. And they promote it. And they reward you for using it.
Yeah.
So why do that? They want to be able to have this, the baristas want to be able to have the option of turning off mobile ordering if they're busy.
Yeah, well, they can suck it.
So, I don't know, it just rubbed me the wrong way because I am a really, like, consistent customer. And she goes, oh, but you're okay, like, we're getting it ready. Well, thanks, because I just paid a good amount of money for these 4 coffees.
Yeah.
You know, but, I don't know, it just rubbed me the wrong way.
She come back with, so yeah, you can go fuck yourself, so.
And the thing is, like, I can't give up Starbucks completely. I can't.
Yeah. We've tried. It is.
And I'm not a coffee drinker. I'm not.
I am.
That's the only coffee I will drink. Usually. I don't drink coffee in the mornings. And it's usually only after school because, quite frankly, they nailed it on there. It's that first sip feeling phrase. Because it is.
It's a little
just that little bit of, like, stress relief. And they know they've got you. And they have me. They have my money. So what do I do?
Don't be shitty
Do
about
I just
it,
overlook this? I've never really had a problem there before.
It's just basic customer service, though. Don't be shitty to the customer.
Do I just order now and wait? And do I have the right, if I order and wait the 10 minutes, and they hand me my Frappuccino to say, can you remake that because it's melting?
Yeah, you absolutely 100% do. Or you just continue on with life, and if they bitch about it, you just say, okay, how about some of this?
Am I being just complaining?
No,
it just struck me the wrong way.
Every other employee that you've ever dealt with at that window has not said a single word about it. Mm-hmm. Christmas tooth girl never said a word about it. So, and she's the best barista in town.
You know, the one over here by us, I do remember when they first opened. We ordered and went through, and he said, "Oh, you just put that order in. It's going to take us a couple minutes."
Okay, well, then
and I'm
fine.
like, well, what's the difference if I put the order in mobily or order at the?
Well, yeah, but now you know.
But now I know. I guess 1,000 people could be ordering all at the same time through the mobile app, and they wouldn't know.
But he presented it, but okay, well, we're working on that. That's what they mostly say. Oh, we're working on that.
Well, she said that after she came out and told us to give her 10 minutes the next time.
Yeah. See, that's bullshit.
Like, if you order and then show up right away, if next time you could just give us 10 minutes.
So that's where the problem lies. It's not that, even that you ordered like that. You could order and say, hold on, I'm just finishing up the order on the app. It's in Kelly Rose's name. Then they should just be like, okay, thanks. It's going to take us a couple minutes.
It screws up their like who they're trying to get out first.
Right, well.
Which I guess I understand that. If she had said, sometimes we get 100 mobile orders coming in all at the same time.
Yeah, well.
So then I would be like, okay, like, because I honestly never thought about that.
Right. But here's the thing. In life, on any job ever, you have to adapt. Do you have to adapt on your job? Because I certainly have to adapt on mine.
Every minute of every day.
So the barista...
But that doesn't stop me from complaining about it.
Yeah, well, the barista at fucking Starbucks can adapt. This is a great proving ground for you to learn how to adapt. Working in the damn Starbucks.
It's like you said, or Michael said, maybe you always order that way, and this was just the one time they were like, hey, look, can you give us a little more time? Because it really only takes 2 or 3 minutes to get from one place, from the school to the...
I'm surprised to hear that from Michael. Because the one time the mailman bothered him about his parking.
Because the coffee's not important to Michael.
Yeah, that's true.
Then we ordered Fuddruckers for dinner at Michael's request, and they got everybody's meal right, except mine wasn't even in the bag.
Yeah.
So I just had onion rings for dinner. We did call, and they refunded us plus extra money. So
that's nice.
Yeah, they did take care of it. But
and the Fuddruckers is new. I mean, some of y'all like either you don't know what Fuddruckers is, and we're like, I can't believe Fuddruckers is still open, which that's what our thought was.
They just opened a new one. We thought they were out of business.
Yeah.
But they're not.
Yeah,
They're
which
still
is weird if you think about it. In the midst of COVID or the coming out of COVID, let's open up a burger bar where people go up to a buffet and do their own fixes on a burger. Which is, don't get me wrong, pre-pandemic, hell yeah, sign me up. But now you're just going to be all around people touching food.
Mm.
It sounds like a bad idea now, doesn't it?
Mm.
So how weird is the world now?
The world is weird. We went out to breakfast this morning. I asked Mom and Dad to go with us last night, and I'm like, if y'all want to go early, where Kevin and I are going to go out to breakfast, we're going to go probably about 8:30. I'm a control freak. I like to control things, and I'm realizing as I get older that the control freak side of me is just an anxiety management. And so I like to get in. I don't like to have to stand around and wait for a table because then they shove you in the smallest table they get first. I don't like big crowds of people. So I like to get in and out when we go out to breakfast early. Because before it gets crowded. And all the other anxieties start pinging in my head. So, and it stems from being an overweight person and having to deal with realities of things other people don't even know exist, and trying to minimize my own discomfort and anxiety over things like that. So Mom and Dad got up a little bit, not terribly later, like
she thought we meant 9 o'clock.
Mom thought I said 9. But I'm kind of like, oh gosh, we're going to get there, we're going to have to wait. So of course we get there, and of course we have to wait. Wasn't a big deal. Got seated, everything was fine, but it was so loud in there. Dad didn't wear his hearing aid in because he said if it's so loud that the hearing aid just amplifies all that noise. And his voice is real low. Mom's voice even seemed low. She was having trouble hearing. They couldn't hear a thing. The waitress was kind of talking low. I basically was translating the meal for everybody. Repeating what the waitress said, repeating what Mom and Dad both said.
Plus there were some ruckus people behind us.
There was a loud group behind us. It was somebody's birthday because they had presents for somebody.
Yeah.
And the restaurant we were in has really high ceilings with it just, the noise reverberates.
Food there is good and it's comfy. And the wait staff is generally very attentive.
Yeah.
So they hit all the high marks for everything except noise.
And which we could have avoided had we gone earlier.
If we'd gotten there earlier, it would have been fine. Yeah.
I told Mom, I'm like, we really should just text each other. We could be that family of people just sitting, and everybody's like, oh, look at those people. They're not even talking to each other, but really we are talking to each other. We're just texting because we can't all hear each other. Yeah. I'm used to being in a certain level of noise all day long, and so I think maybe that's why I'm a little better. You tend to tune out a bit.
That's just something that you do when you work in a call center for so long.
So
when you're working in a call center and you're in a room full of people that are doing the same thing, there's so much background noise at the call center. And then even when I'm working at home, you're hearing the background noise on the other end. So you learn to drown shit out.
Yeah, me too. Sometimes. I had a really hard time a couple days this week drowning out noise. Yeah. I have a student that demands attention, and if you ignore his demands for attention, he just gets louder and louder and louder. And then he starts kicking and things and throwing things and hitting things, and so we had a couple of really rough days. And a couple of really great days this week. Lots of highs and lows. I left work Thursday feeling like I don't know how I can do this anymore. Nothing I'm trying works. Nothing. And I've tried a lot of things, and a lot of people have been involved, and nothing's working. And there are days I'm just like, oh, I can't. And then you come back the next day, and it's a good day, and you feel better again. But so it's just a somewhat stressful week. And then today our goal is or this weekend, since we have weekends off now, we are going to do some spring cleaning and reorganizing and minimizing junk in the bedroom, which we keep putting off. We find new things to keep us from doing it.
Yeah.
But we can't.
Thus, we're recording this morning.
We've got to do it.
Yeah, we do got to do it.
We got to do it.
Bedroom's not horrible. We just got to get it organized.
I mean, it's not hoarder's bed.
Yeah.
But there are things, like you start just piling things up because you don't want to deal with them, and then you start to not see the piles of things anymore. That's where we are right now with just stuff, and it needs to get either tossed or rehomed. I don't know. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we got a lot of work ahead of us.
Yeah.
And then next week we're doing the same thing in the rest of the house. Yeehaw. But I don't know. Needs to get done, so might as well do it. Anything else you got from this week?
I do want to make a mention because my older brother Billy, he watches or listens to the show. Condolences for my sister-in-law Jen. She lost her mom almost a year and a week to the day we lost my mom. But that's tough. We're thinking about you guys. So Bill and Jen, you guys are in our thoughts. It's been it's been an interesting week. Your dad lost a friend of his, a good friend of his. So it's been.
Yeah, it's a COVID.
To COVID of all things. Well, not all things, but
people still.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough when you lose people. For sure.
Yep.
So, I can't think of anything else. We've been steering clear of the news as much as possible.
Yeah, because none of it's good.
None of it's good. Now they're starting to talk about food shortages and.
Go ahead.
Mom said yesterday the news was on, and out of the clear blue, she goes, "Do you think we should go get some corned beef and put them in the freezer since they're talking about these food shortages?" And I'm like, I don't think we're not going to be able to find any food. I haven't been paying attention to the news, so I don't know. But
no, they're not expecting.
Is there going to be a run on lowness of corned beef?
Yeah.
We eat corned beef once a year. I don't think that would be the meat I choose to stock my refrigerator with. But
get some
it was
chicken,
just so funny. I was like, are you just wanting corned beef? Because if that's you just want corned beef, we'll do that. But it was funny. I was like, corned beef. Yeah, let's get some chicken or some ground beef. Or maybe she meant to say ground beef. I don't know. But corned beef, it was just kind of, it would be like, yeah, let's go buy a couple of frozen turkeys,
And let's get some butterballs.
In case we have this food shortage and we can't find food, we can make a Thanksgiving meal.
What are we doing for dinner tonight? I think we're going to do Thanksgiving tonight. On Wednesday, we're going to do Easter.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I don't know that she thought it was funny, but I thought it was funny. All right, so I guess we're going to come back with maybe some hypotheticals.
We'll do some hypotheticals.
Throw some hypotheticals at you.
All right.
All right, we will be back with that momentarily.
We're back with hypotheticals.
So every now and then we just like to throw some hypothetical questions out there. I like to throw hypothetical questions to Kevin because you never know where Kevin's brain's gonna go, and it's fun to follow the little
the logic barrier.
There's not logic all the time. It's fun to follow the adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say that. All right, so here is the first one. Kind of lame. I'm skipping that one. What would your ideal last meal be?
Ooh.
What's on the menu for this meal?
See, most folks don't get. This is where if you're on death row, you're really better off because you get to pick your last meal and they bring you whatever you want.
And then you die.
And well, yeah, but still, you the person you murdered didn't get to choose their last meal.
What if you pick something and they bring it to you and it just sucks because whoever made it just sucks at making it?
That's the thing. There's a line from a show in the first episode, as a matter of fact, called Raising Hope. The guy has sex with a serial killer and she has a baby, but right before they put her to death, they're like, what do you want for your last meal? And she says, I want a Shamrock milkshake and a McRib. And the lady said, that was brilliant because those things are never out at the same time. But I would think, I guess, I mean, if I had any meal ever, it would be the lamb shank from Yanni's, but that's never going to happen again. So I guess maybe a good steak or a rockfish, because I like rockfish. That's good. That's good fish.
I mean, I think you know what mine would be.
Yeah, the flank steak.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Not any. I mean, I just wouldn't pick anything outlandish. I'm not a adventurous eater.
Yeah.
So stick with what I know.
There you go.
If dinosaurs could be cloned back into existence, what kind of dinosaur would it be? That's a lame question.
They've made 6 movies that explains exactly why that's a shit idea.
Yeah, we're skipping that question. If you were the king or queen of the world and could make any rule, what would it be?
Taxation is theft. No taxation.
Well, we're gonna skip that one too then.
Term limits. Yeah.
If your house had a theme song, what would it be?
Ooh. Now that's interesting. So the first one that popped in my head was like the theme song from The Office, but that's not really fitting either. So.
I'd have to think about that one. It would be a song nobody could hear.
What? What'd you say?
I can't hear you.
Yeah. Leave in the comments what your favorite theme song for a TV show would be.
I mean, any song could be the theme song. Like, you're not just stuck to TV show theme songs.
Yeah, but I am curious as what everybody's favorite theme song is from a TV show. It might not be your favorite TV show, but your favorite theme song from a show. So, dog's going to go crazy here in a second because UPS just pulled up in front of the house.
We must set off a signal, or we just order so much that they always are pulling up in front of us.
I think it's more that. That's probably the thing.
I ordered something yesterday, but I can't imagine it would be coming via an Amazon.
Oh.
I don't know.
That's
that looks like
box.
Dad's medicine, maybe?
No, you know what? That's mine.
That's your medicine?
Yeah, I had to order some Trulicity.
Oh, well, thanks for telling me that. I gotta budget that stuff,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I ain't cheap. That's $100.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, what?
I ordered some Trulicity.
Yeah, I see that. Until he didn't notice.
She didn't notice. That's good stuff.
Stealthy UPS guy. So you don't have an idea for a theme song?
Not really.
Maybe you should have prepped for that one a little more.
Yeah. Well, for the house.
I got friends in low places.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's kind of a beer drinking song. No one in the house drinks beer. So.
Okay. All right.
Ain't living long like this from Waylon. That really didn't fit, but.
Oh my gosh. It's it's the end of the world. I hesitate to ask this question because I know you. If time machines existed, what would be the first thing you'd do?
Go back and take care of that kid that's ruining your life.
Don't. Oh.
I kid because she knows that my thing about time travel was a bad idea.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna say nothing. I wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'd go back and watch, but I wouldn't change anything because you never know what kind of horrible things that would happen because of the change you made. So.
Yeah, we've talked about that before. We were listening to a podcast where they were like, "Would you go back and kill baby Hitler?"
Yeah.
Knowing what Hitler's done. But you still have to kill a baby, and who wants to do that?
Yeah. Well, and the thing about that, I mean, you can always just stop the parents from doing the deed.
That's better.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be the easier thing to do.
Go back even further so they, never met each other?
Yeah. Sarah Connor, that bitch.
What?
Sarah Connor from Terminator. In the first Terminator movie, they weren't going back to kill baby John Connor. They were going back to kill Sarah before she got pregnant.
Got it.
No one theorizes about that shit. Kill Hitler's mom before she gets knocked up.
No, just...
But think about the advancements that would be now gone because that war didn't happen. Now, I'm not saying war is great or whatever. Yeah, but there would have been advancements that probably would not have happened had World War II not happened. So that's what you sacrifice with time travel.
Boy, you just may possibly stepped in a big.
Yeah, even the comments, how much of an asshole I am for, but.
If you could be a character from any movie, who would it be, and why?
Ooh. Oh. I mean, the obvious answer would be Superman. Yeah, because, superpower, flight, the whole nine, But I'd be too tempted to let California sink. Be like, let Lex have this one. Get Jimmy and Lois out, but...
Oh, Kevin.
But, I'm not that much of an asshole. I'd keep California from sinking into the ocean begrudgingly.
I know people. I love people who live in California. So let's, not blame all of the citizens of California.
True that.
For the parts of it you don't appreciate. If you were I don't even want to ask you this question today because you're going to get some hate. If you were a dictator of a small country, what crazy dictator things would you do?
I'd give up my dictatorship. I'm not that guy. I wouldn't be. No. I guess I'd rewrite the Constitution to ensure that they wouldn't rob people of their freedom. But beyond that, after that, I'd sign out and like, hey, everybody's good. Everybody's got their own shit going on. I'm out.
If you could make a piece of clothing that had any kind of power, what kind of power would it have, and how would that benefit you personally?
I think we talked about this a little bit in the Encanto episode. Shape-shifting is top-tier power. That you could do a lot with that. I mean, you could do, just shape-shifting. So how would it benefit me? I mean, you could do anything. You can, make money, just, go to Hollywood and be a monster for monster movies. You make money that way. Or corporate espionage. If you could literally be a fly in the room, a fly on the wall, where you can find out, yeah, this person's doing this number, any number of things. Shape-shifting is top-tier power.
Mine is in the same line as shape-shifting, but I would still want to be myself. Just a thinner, healthier version of myself. So I would make like Spanx, but when you put them on, you actually you're not just like squeezing everything, you actually become thinner. So as long as you wear them, you are your ideal body weight. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Yeah, take away like joint pain. I don't care about money. I don't want to be anybody other than myself. Just a better version of myself.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, that would be cool. Okay, let's see. Boy, some of these are just not great, and we've talked about them. Let's see. If you could only view one website for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Ooh, I mean, the quick answer would be Google, but then you would just get like the headlines. You wouldn't get any.
Amazon, I'd do Amazon.
Yeah, I guess Amazon would be the way to go.
You could read, you could watch movies, you could listen to music, you could shop.
Yeah.
I'd have to go with
that was one of the things that we talked about this week too. There's a
Kevin had some hate for Amazon, and then we realized his angst was aimed at the wrong major company.
Yeah. So Amazon bought this company called Comics, which they have a really good reader, and the idea is that you can go through and shop for comic books, graphic novels, the whole nine, and you can purchase them and read them through a very good reader on this app. But I kept running into problems where I could not buy the book, and I was like, why would Amazon put out an app where you couldn't buy the book? It was really just pissing me off. you know. And then finally she looks into it, and it's because we're on Apple devices, and Apple's got this weird thing that if you can't get it through the App Store, you can't do direct purchases.
You can't
through the
purchase
app.
through the app unless the app goes through the App Store.
Right, the purchase goes through the App Store,
Mm-hmm.
which it doesn't if you're Amazon, because they're not going to split the profits with Apple at all. Which, you know, all right, I get that, but at the same time, I mean, Jesus Christ, figure a way around it, guys.
But if Kevin had talked, I guess I didn't realize that Amazon owned the comics website.
Yeah.
But I know, like, I don't know if you said this because I was reading something and I wasn't paying attention. It's so common. I read a lot on Kindle. Did you talk about Kindle?
No.
Okay.
But
and
it's the same thing.
You can't buy a Kindle book through the Amazon app. You have to actually, excuse me, you have to actually be on the Amazon website. So the app does not support Kindle purchases, and you can't purchase through Kindle app. So I have to actually go to Safari and go to Amazon.com and order Kindle books that way. And if I knew comics was that way, I would have told you that a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
But now I know.
But now we know it's not
and
Apple.
knowing is half the battle.
Or it's not Kindle, it's Apple.
Yeah.
All right, one more question. What are we at?
We'll do
13 minutes? Okay. What do people do that makes them the most annoying to be around? And why are they like that, in your opinion? For example, people who laugh at their own jokes.
I laugh at my own jokes. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Kevin
to be pissed off about it.
Kevin points out the joke. Like, he'll make a joke, and if you don't laugh, I'll go, see what I did there? I'm like, yeah, I did. You did that to me just the other day about something. But, like, yeah, I got it. I don't know. What makes people annoying, Kevin? What do you find most annoying in a person?
This is where being highly, like, tolerant and patient doesn't really kick in all that well. But the only thing I can think of is traffic. The way people drive and shit. That's the only time I really just lose my cool, is driving around and then people do dumb shit. The other day, like, somebody shot over in our lane and then shot back. I was like, you're a fucking asshole, you know. But, you know, that would be the only thing. It was like, and it just because you've now either delayed me in some fashion or caused me to have a reaction for, you know, fight or flight or whatever. It's just one of those things where now I've gotten my adrenaline up because you've done something stupid, and now you've pissed me off. So that's really the only thing.
I don't like
Otherwise,
to be.
I'm super tolerant of everything.
People annoy me when they don't understand anyone else's point of view.
Yeah.
Like when they can't see something from someone else's vantage point. That's annoying to me.
Yeah.
When they complain about, and I guess kind of what I did with Starbucks. Like I complained about more, and I never really, but I did take the time to seek out why.
Yeah.
That was so annoying to the people at Starbucks, and now I understand it. But I don't like to be around people that are all about them.
Yeah.
You know, that don't have the ability to listen to other people. I think that's annoying to me. I don't know the reason why people do it. They're self-centered and selfish.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. They never learned that the world doesn't revolve around a singular person.
That's right.
Anyway, so we gotta go. We've got so much cleaning to do, and it's a really, really pretty day outside. So we might open the windows.
That sounds good.
Get some music going in there.
Some Encanto. Or
some Hamilton, more like it. It'll either be, yeah.
Lin-Manuel is going to be blasting in our room.
In some fashion.
Yeah.
He's a freaking genius.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Tilly, you're being a good girl.
Yeah, you heard the mailman. You didn't get up
She
for
didn't
UPS.
bark at the mailman or the UPS guy. So she's a good girl. All right, y'all. Have a great week. We'll be back next week. It'll be April. Next time we see you.
Spring.
Believe
Spring
it
is
or
sprung.
not.
Go out and enjoy it.
Can't believe
Open
it.
the windows up in the house.
Yeah, enjoy it. We will see y'all later. I'll be good.
Bye, everybody.